Hey, have you ever been part of a team that's, full of amazing, talented people, but for some reason just can't seem to get anything done efficiently? It's so frustrating, right? Well, today we're going to dive into the one thing that can turn all that chaos into pure clarity. We're talking about organizational structure. Think of it like the invisible blueprint that can either totally bog a team down or, if you get it right, unlock its absolute full potential.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You've got a team, right? When they're small, they're just on fire. Moving fast, innovating, it's awesome. But then they get successful. They grow. And that's when this strange thing starts to happen. Suddenly, communication gets messy. Projects slow to a crawl, and all that amazing energy, it just gets replaced by frustration. It's such a classic growing pain. So you gotta ask, why? Why does this happen? How do these incredible, high-performing teams just suddenly hit a brick wall? I mean, it's not like the people got any less smart, or the mission suddenly became less important. Nope. The real reason is that the very success that got them there created this whole new level of complexity that, frankly, they just weren't ready for.
And the answer, 9 times out of 10, is a total lack of structure. That scrappy, informal, everybody just jumps in and does everything vibe. It works great when you're a team of 5, but it just completely collapses under the weight of, say, 50. Without a clear framework, all you get is confusion, people accidentally doing the same work, and just massive inefficiency. But hey, here's the really good news. This is a totally solvable problem, and that brings us to the solution. It's a core idea in management called, simply, organizing. And it's all about being deliberate, about actually designing a system for success, instead of just letting it happen by accident. So what exactly is this organizing function? What's so powerful about it is how simple the idea is at its core. It's just the intentional design of how all your people and all your resources are going to work together. And let's be clear, this is not about creating soul-crushing bureaucracy. Not at all. It's about creating clear pathways so people can actually collaborate effectively.
And the goal here, it is crystal clear. The whole point is to stop that crazy situation where 2 people are unknowingly working on the exact same thing. What a waste of time and energy, right? And at the same time, you want to make it super easy for people to team up, combine their skills, and do something way bigger than they could on their own. It's all about efficiency and that magic word, synergy. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Well, it really breaks down into 4 key actions. First, you group related tasks together. That's how you establish departments. Second, you define super clear roles for everybody in those departments. No more guessing who's supposed to do what. Third, and this one is absolutely crucial, you have to delegate the authority people need to actually get their job done. And finally, you coordinate how the work flows between all these different people and teams. All right, now here's a really important thing to get. There is no single, one-size-fits-all solution here. Absolutely not. The way you organize your team or your company depends completely on your goals, what industry you're in, and how big you are. Choosing your structure is a major strategic decision. And this table gives us a great, quick overview of the main options. So you've got your functional structure. That's where you group people by what they do, like all the marketing folks together, all the finance folks together. Great for stable businesses. Then there's the divisional structure, which is what huge companies with lots of different products use. You also have a flat structure, perfect for startups that need to make decisions like right now. And then there's the matrix, which is kind of a hybrid model for when things get really complex and you need a ton of flexibility. Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this stuff plays out in the real world. And for that, we're going to look at a total masterclass from a global giant. Yep, we're talking about Procter Gamble, or P&G. I mean, just think about it for a second. These guys manage hundreds of iconic brands. We're talking Tide, Gillette, Pampers, you name it, all across the entire globe. The sheer level of complexity is just staggering. So the question is, how on earth do they keep it all together? And that was their central challenge, right? It's this classic business dilemma. How can a global giant act like a nimble, local startup? They needed the power and the high standards of a massive corporation, but they also needed the speed and responsiveness of a small local shop that really gets its customers in every single market. Their solution? It was an absolutely brilliant use of that matrix structure we mentioned. They basically organized the whole company along 2 different lines at the exact same time. So on one axis, you have the global product divisions. Their job is to make sure a brand like Tide is a high-quality, innovative product no matter where you buy it. But on the other axis, you have geographic regions, teams that deeply understand the local culture, the local competitors, and what customers in, say, Brazil or Japan really want. And the payoff is huge. because they get the best of both worlds. This dual structure means they can totally adapt their marketing for customers in Japan without messing with the core product formula that was perfected in the US. It lets local teams make quick decisions, but they're still connected to the big picture global strategy. It's pretty amazing.
So, after seeing how a massive company like P&G pulls this off, let's bring it all back home. How can you apply these same principles? It doesn't matter if you're leading a tiny team, a whole department, or even an entire company. The ideas are the same.
All right, so what should you take away from all this? Here's the bottom line. First, a good structure is your single best weapon against chaos, period. Second, it doesn't just magically appear. Organizing is a deliberate, intentional process. Third, the right design totally depends on your unique goals. And finally, as P&G proves, this is a tool for success at any scale, big or small.
And that leaves us with one last question for you to think about. When you look at your own work, your own team, what is just one small change you could make that would bring a little more clarity to your structure? Just one thing. Maybe it's clarifying one person's role or smoothing out one clunky workflow. What's one step you could take to bring in more clarity and push out a little bit of that chaos? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.